The Crash Course Podcast is brought to you in part by DerbyParts.com, Smashmasters, Derby Parts, and Derby Inc. Magazine. Live it, breathe it, be it, Derby Inc. This is the Crash Course Demolition Derby Podcast, recorded live at the FingerLinks1.com studios in downtown Seneca Falls, New York. And now your host, Chris Marquardt.
Good afternoon, good evening, good day. Welcome to Crash Course Podcast, episode number 15, if you can believe it. Running right up there, presented by Keystone Nationals. Keystone Nationals are presenting partner of the Crash Course from now straight through July 26th when the Keystone Nationals takes place in Brookville, Pennsylvania. Really happy to have them on board with us here as we go forward. Joining us on the Skype hotline presented by Keystone Nationals. We've got Steve Buckner. We've also got Josh Decker here in studio and Brian Tompkins. We're going to be catching up with Mike DeFreesia a little bit later on. Mad Mike, who was featured on Farm Kings. We're going to be catching up after that with Jason Dials. Going to be fun to chat with him a little bit. He was we saw him run down at Blizzard Bash back in November. We'll be talking with him. We teased it. We got some people that are already camped out, watching, waiting to find out what the announcement is. We were talking with, I guess we can just kick right off the top of it, because I don't think either of you actually know what this one is. Everybody was looking forward to the one on the 13th, which is next week. We will be going to Halloween Havoc October 4th with Stir and Dirt in Utah.
Oh, yes. Yes.
Yeah, buddy.
Woo.
Yeah.
That is awesome.
Yeah, we
Do we have to drive? Please say no. Please say no, because I'm going anyway.
No, I don't think we're going to drive.
Oh, man, I can't wait. That's awesome.
I mapped it out. If we had to drive, it'd be about 23 hours in the car with you.
Yeah, no, let's.
Pretty
23. we gotta fly.
Yeah.
Wow, that's wicked exciting, man.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's cool.
Yeah.
I flew to Salt Lake City a few years ago and picked up a 1976 Chevy Nova with a buddy of mine, and we drove it from Salt Lake City back to New Hampshire. We took our time. We did it in 4 days.
It's a long way.
4 days.
It's a long way across the country, but we've been talking a little bit with Johnny Gullo, trying to figure out what's going to fit best. And the initial invite was for Hot Rockin' Fourth, but that of course
That would have been awesome.
That of course is the Brockton Show, the Northeast Championship, which pretty much all of us are going to be at. Steve's going to be there as well. You know, he'll be announcing and doing all that fun stuff. So we're going to instead go October 4th. It's an open weekend, so we'll be in Utah.
Awesome.
Yep.
Guys, thanks for the invite. I mean, that's wicked cool. Lazenby better be there. You hear me, Lazenby?
Yep, you got the chance to meet him now.
Oh, that's awesome. Dude, that's so cool.
Yep.
That'll be wicked great.
I figured.
Do you know what kind of events or what's going on that day, or
That's their year-end program. It's a cleanup style show. They've got pretty much all the stuff from the course of the year comes and kind of descends on it. There's information available on stiranddirt.com about the October 4th show. They do that in conjunction. They've got some benefits and some fundraisers and stuff that are going on. So the plan right now is we're going to get out there and we'll do the same thing we've been doing in a lot of these live events. We'll do a pre-race show and a post-race show. If things shake out and they end up doing some pay-per-view stuff, we may get tied up with that. I really don't know. But there's actually a story on Johnny and what he's got going on with Stir and Dirt in this quarter's edition of Derby Inc. Magazine. There's about 20 of those left. I just got a second run sent in from the printer, so if anybody out there is still looking for a copy, you can get it. There's not going to be another run after this because we got another one in March, and then we got a couple of them set aside for May if we still do that preseason issue. So if you are looking for a copy of Derby Inc. Magazine, you can still get a copy of it. You can read up more on Johnny Gullo and the folks at Stir and Dirt. And
some great articles in this month.
Stir and Dirt.
No, really, this month I sat there and read it for a while. It was really good.
Yeah,
there was some good stuff in there.
Stir and Dirt, stiranddirt.com. Make sure you check those guys out. And that just continues to compound everything that we've got going on. We've already announced Keystone Nationals. You see their logos here on the screen right now in front of you. And we've got Winter Slam. We've got Sturgis coming up this month. Keystone Nationals, and now that. And I still don't even know what's going on next week.
You're the man. You are the man, dude. We're just filling up this year.
Yeah. But the thing that has me the most nervous is because you know more about next week than I do.
Yes.
And I don't. I've connected a few dots.
Stop connecting.
I'm
just wait. It's only a week away.
I don't know for sure, and I'm dying to know. So
I'm gonna have to ask for more vacation time. right? I mean, because we're going to be gone a lot. I might as well stop working.
Well, let's
not jump the gun.
Not get carried away.
Right. I'm ready to stop working if I can.
Easy there.
No.
I don't.
Too far, huh? Too far. All right, that's fine. I understand. I'm waiting for it though. I'm ready to pull the switch.
I had a little conversation with my college loan people today. I don't need to tell them about that too.
No, that's super exciting, man.
Yeah, pretty cool, huh? I mean,
so that's on a huge track, right? That's on one of their big monster tracks out there.
Yeah, gigantic.
Dude, I cannot wait to watch that firsthand.
I
love rollovers, man. Hell yeah.
I love rollovers.
Yeah. No, out there's where Brian Cox runs, right? That runs that truck. I think he runs out in Stern Dirt shows.
You can read about Stern Dirt and that right there. Right there.
Yeah, get it.
Yeah, I know. I got to get the.
No, that's a good. Chris, I got to say that the second issue was the first one was great. This one was even better.
Hey, I got to say
a lot of good stuff in it.
I got to say too. I didn't from the stories I heard. I didn't think Hanson's car built or bent at all, but actually the bent or the rear of that bent up some. That was that was impressive.
It looks good.
It does.
Yeah. He knows what he's doing.
Yeah.
It could be run again, but it was definitely bent.
At least one end was. Front end not so much.
The front end
still bent, I think.
Yeah, the front end was bent, but it wasn't hurt.
Yeah.
If you can relate to that.
Well,
you know.
He had a lot of life left. Let's say that. It was bent, but I think you're right. He still had a lot of life left.
Yeah, he had plenty to go.
He could have gone through another 10 GMs, I think, before he was clipping right through them there for a while.
Nothing better than seeing a bunch of GMs get junked.
Well, that's true. But I wish it wasn't by another GM.
Yeah.
Yeah. The October 4th. It's in Ogden, Utah. It's the year-end wipeout, Halloween Havoc. And they have a pig roast, which is why I figured that was probably right up Brian's alley.
Perfect.
Do you think they'll let me borrow the corporate jet to fly back to New York to coach a football game?
Now,
Sunday?
which corporate jet would that be?
That would be theirs, because I know you said yours is it's going to be in the shop getting painted that week.
Yep, I got to get it relettered.
So I figured maybe
awesome?
maybe Gumby and the boys and Gullo
Gumby and the boys.
It could hook me up and fly me back to coach a game the next day.
You know what? I got you an invite to Utah.
Hey, I'm happy.
And we haven't even talked about it for 5 minutes. You're already after something for free.
And he's trying to get out of it already. He's trying to go home early.
Not get out of it. I'm just trying to figure out how I can get back from.
No, that'll be such a cool show to watch. I mean, those tracks are so big, and those guys that's a whole different atmosphere than our kind of shows.
They wreck some shit.
I can't wait to watch that.
He said the only way that we could do it is if Josh Decker wrote an article for the magazine, because he figured that Brian wouldn't be able to make it.
Wow.
That hurts. He's right.
That hurts.
What if I write something?
That's not true, because I know you will anyway.
That's right, Steve.
You've already been published several times in this magazine now.
Steve's
yeah,
famous.
I'm kind of a big deal.
I got to say that, by the way, the beard is looking fierce today.
Yeah, you do.
Thank you. Yeah. I got some followers out there now.
Yeah,
John
I know.
Cashin posted a little tribute pic of me today.
Now, are you going to trim that up for the Derby season, or are you going to leave it big and bushy for the whole summer?
It's a playoff.
Actually, this is a Minnesota face mask, so I'm keeping myself nice and warm for
That's a
the
good idea.
Winter Slam.
You put some hand warmers in there, you'll be all right. Just stuff them in there on your jowls.
Get a Duck Dynasty beard. You can hide your hands in it.
That's right.
That'll be cool.
I'm working on it.
Literally.
Yeah, I seen it was like negative 54 out there. Can't wait till we get out there.
Yeah, it's going to be awesome.
I said, how do you guys even sit? Your eyeballs freeze at that, I think, right?
Yeah, he said
Everything does.
Yeah, he said that they would have to cancel it if it was that cold, and I'm like, yeah.
We're coming anyway.
Pretty much.
We'll have a good party.
Yeah, we will. Yes, we will.
I told him, if you're going to cancel it, keep the tent up. Because buddy, we're coming.
Right.
Chris and I were chatting with Jeremy and Randy last night through Facebook, and we're just kind of working out some of the details of this and that. But I mean, the excitement for that show is really starting to get off the charts. I mean, people all over the country are asking about what's up with Winter Slam, and I think it's winter time, and everybody just wants to get in a car and wreck something.
Everybody's itching.
Yeah.
Everybody's itching.
Absolutely.
Whoa.
Absolutely.
And it's cool too that there's not a lot of places that have wintertime derbies. It's kind of cool that we're able to bring this.
Yeah, but
to
couldn't
all
we have a
different-
wintertime derby? I don't know, like Texas or Florida.
I was going to say Aruba.
Yeah, Aruba would be
Aruba.
fine.
I agree.
You can still go. Aruba. You can still go up against like 64 Falcons.
I'm sure.
Absolutely.
We'll go
Aruba.
out to Cuba.
Is it?
There you go.
Is it an outlaw derby if you have oil drums strapped to the side of 57 Bel Air?
No.
Steve, we came up with a team idea here for when we go to Winter Slam, and since you're going with us as part of the team.
Hang on. Wait a second. Steve, let me preface that I have no idea what he's talking about before he finishes. Go
none
ahead.
of us talked about this.
When we go to Winter Slam to show how hardy and tough us New Yorkers are, and you can be a temporary New Yorker, we're gonna go out and wear shorts and tank tops.
I'm not
during the whole show, just to show them what's up. So
maybe
I was already practicing my chest painting yesterday.
That's awesome. We're ready, man. Perfect.
Hey, quick heads up. We got like 10 people in the chat room right now on FingerLakes1.tv. It's picking up every week. We're glad to have you guys. Say hi to Crash 603, McKinnon 45. Hey. Nick Sorrella's on there. Skip's on there. Tom Woodbury and a couple of anonymous people as well. So thanks for being with us, guys. We appreciate it.
Absolutely.
I saw Tom Woodbury liked one of the model contest pages. I'm involved with a lot of the model stuff in addition for the Derby stuff, and we have adopted for the October model contest. We adopted a Blizzard Bash format, and the team ranks are already full.
That's awesome.
It's crazy. I feel like these are plastic model cars, but now's the time to get that stuff out there because everybody's looking to build something.
Exactly.
Hey, not for nothing, but did anyone else notice where they had a thing up where they were asking what people would like to see changed? They're talking about having 20 teams next year at Blizzard Bash on top of everything else that they want to have.
I've seen that they want stock old iron, modified old iron, leafed 80s, stock 80s. Sam's on fire right now. Keep it up, Sam.
We'll be able to talk with Jason a little bit later on about that. He was at Blizzard Bash, and we'll get some details from him about some of those proposed changes. Because we shared it on the Crash Course page, what the itinerary is. It's crazy.
It's awesome.
Yeah.
It's awesome. You know why it's a great idea? Because you got guys coming from so far away. Yep. He can have more divisions because it's like, all right, well, guys will come from here for stock. Here.
Yep.
I can't wait for that show again. I mean, that was the best show last year. And
now, how many cars are you hauling out for that?
Yeah, right. I wish. I'm going to have to try to get someone to build me one. I've been trying all over the country.
I'm going to have to do something impressive this summer so somebody builds me a car.
Yeah, well, you've never done anything impressive in a Derby car. So,
wow.
Dude, you said that you made that so big, that target.
Now
it's a fact, though.
Now I'm going to have to tip you over at Yates County this year.
I'll give you $100 bill if you ever tip me over, or if you ever hit me.
Oh,
I'll let you hit me.
All I have to do is
I'll see Brian on the track one time.
All I have to do is hit you to give me $100.
Yes, because I'm going to smoke you after that. So is it worth that $100 bill?
Absolutely.
Let's do it.
All right, we can do it. Are you still going to be my friend afterwards? Though?
Of course. You know that.
If I break your left front tire off and you got a $2,000 car there, I
don't have nothing worth $2,000.
Yeah, okay.
Hey, I did buy 2 shockers for $400.
Awesome.
Exciting. Whoa. Going down next week to get them, buddy.
No wonder you crushed that Diplomat.
See, when you wrote that, in my head, I'm thinking, like, I don't even care about that car. I want shocker. I'm going to have a nice row of shockers this year.
Yeah, buddy.
I just need an Imperial now.
Rumor has it I might try a GM this year.
I dare you.
You'll be able to buy a lot more shockers with all your Woodburger Demolition Derby winnings.
Ooh. Steve, I got one car done already. I'm telling you, I got to put a drive shaft in it and cut some holes. We're almost done with one of them. I like those rules. You can clip right through those son of bitches.
This has been like the week of hype. Like, I've heard from so many people talking about coming to Northeast Championship. People are coming out of the woodwork to go to Brookville. The entries are flying in right now. Word from Bo is that the stock class is damn near full. If everyone who said that it's in the mail is actually in the mail, it's probably already full.
Can I say that? I've heard a lot of people tell me that
entries in.
We're motivating people just to listen to guys talking Derby throughout the winter. I've heard a bunch of people say that they've been motivated listening to us, and that's exactly what we want. Just everybody get building. Just get building, guys. Bring the cars in the garage and get building. That's cool.
We're Derby guys. We believe that Derby guys and girls are the stars, and we're here to make you stars, and we want you to be motivated and get out there and be known. So that's what we're here for.
Definitely.
Well, we got a guy on the line who is a star unto himself, star of the Great American Country program, Farm Kings.
Oh, yeah.
Mike DeFriesha, Mad Mike.
Hey, how we doing, guys?
Hey, Mike.
What's up, Mike?
What's up?
Oh, not much. I'm glad we finally got on here.
Yeah, no problem. I mean, how has life changed in 2014 for you since you made that appearance on Farm Kings? Are you signing autographs every time you leave the house, or what?
Nah, I wouldn't say that's the case at all, but, I mean, I go to the local store and Walmart and stuff like that, and I got people, I seen the show, or, wanting to ask 100 questions, but...
That's awesome, man.
That is
really
cool.
It was a great episode, man. Good for you.
And you have you guys look like you got a ton of fun going on in your barn every time. Every time I'm going online, you got something going on in Mad Mike's barn, working on different cars, and you're playing poker with derby car parts there the other night. It was pretty cool.
Yeah, it's pretty much a lifestyle for us. I mean, my grandpa started in '66, and I mean, it's been my uncles, my cousins, I mean, the whole family pretty much. So it is derby all around our place, 24/7.
That's awesome.
Now, when your grandfather started in 1966, what were they derbying back
Horses.
then?
Oh, his first Demolition Derby, I was actually just talking to my cousin, Chris Furster, and his first derby was at Stoneboro Fair in Stoneboro, Pennsylvania. He derbied an early 50s Cadillac Thursday night. Friday night, it was an early 50s Buick.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
And I mean, basically all they did was knock the windows out, right? I mean, they didn't, there was an...
No, they left the gas tanks in. I mean, he used to tell us stories about how they'd take the tank out and put a big rubber mat underneath the gas tank. That way there, you know, when the car bent, and take a little more before it'd poke a hole in your tank and you were out of gas.
That's awesome.
That's so cool. That's so
awesome.
cool.
Did they chain anything shut then? I mean, did they chain the doors shut?
I mean, they were chaining the doors and stuff just from, you know, what I can see in pictures and all, but mainly just, you know, one chain around the door. That was pretty much it.
That's great.
Good old days right there.
I still like building like that.
Oh, yeah.
Not like that anymore.
Mike, one thing, Steve Bucknam here, in some of the pictures that I've seen of your garage, I see you got a big whiteboard up on the wall, and I know in my career I used to always just write my derby list on the car or something, but I just wanted to commend you for that. Having the whiteboard up in the shop, I think something every derby guy should have. You got to keep your list on,
yeah,
on how to build
cool.
a car. At the bottom of every list, it should
it's
say
been
one
up there
feature.
for a few years now, and it's constantly got a pile of stuff on it to do, so we don't get bored.
How many cars do you actually build a year? I mean, we've seen.
It varies from year to year. I mean, last year we were upwards about 25.
Wow.
God, that's a lot of
So
stripping.
that was a long year there, but normally anywhere from 15 to 25 a year.
Wow.
And
Stop pulling them Vixen there. I want to see you pulling a nice Monaco wagon or a 65 boxcar Imperial.
15 years ago, that's all I was running was Chrysler, but me and my cousin Chris Furster, I mean, that's for 10 years, that's all we ran were Chryslers, but once the Chevy thing came around, we kind of all converted to Chevy drivetrains and Ford cars, but I like the old stuff, just getting hard to find.
Sure. Oh, no doubt.
And you can buy 4 Fords for the price of one.
And there's no doubt about that. There's no doubt about that.
Yes,
That's
exactly.
Tough. That's tough.
Talk a little bit about how things have changed. I mean, you're in the nickname Mad Mike. You're like a mad scientist down there with some of the stuff that comes out of that garage, and you're building 20 cars a year. You know, how have things changed in your eyes as you went from building those Chryslers with your cousin Chris to what you're building now?
I mean, you know, to be honest, I try to give the stock guys a little bit of recommendation, or a little bit of, I don't know the word I'm looking for.
Recognition?
Seems like nowadays everybody has the, you know, like the limited weld at Brookville and the stock class at Brookville. It seems like all these stock guys ought to run with the big dogs, but us stock guys are still putting a lot of time into our cars, you know, as to where stock today isn't like stock was 20 years ago when you just put a chain around the door, of course. But
sure.
Very true.
What was your take on Keystone Nationals this year?
Oh, I loved it. I love going up there. There's always a lot of good drivers. Bo does a great job as far as officiating and everything, putting it on. I mean, it's just a bunch of good guys that want to go have fun, and usually there's no fights or nothing like that like you get at some of the local fairs, and it's just everybody wanting to have a good time. And I think with their new rules this year, it's going to be the best one ever, actually.
Amen.
Have you got your registration sent in yet?
Yep, we got 3 going for the stock class, and I'm just right on the verge here next couple of days debating if I'm going to build 2 cars and take one over for the limited weld also. That 400 just to make the feature is pretty enticing.
Right.
Absolutely.
Well, if you're going there anyways, you might as well take 2 cars. I mean, you know.
Yeah, that's a lot in one night.
Dude, just do it.
Yeah, if you're building 25 anyways, the fun of wrecking 2 in a night doesn't get much better than that.
Hey, you know what? Think of this real quick, though. Let's say you get to run the stock class first. You can go out there and just run however you want and kind of get yourself mentally ready for the limited well. Limited well is going to be a little bit different paced. So get out there. Run both of them.
Yeah, I'm thinking about it. I really wanted to do the limited weld this year, but I had a buddy that wanted to go over for the stock class, and he went and bought a Cadillac similar to the one I'm running, and he's pretty anxious to go over, so I felt kind of committed to make sure I went with him. But that limited weld, I like what Bo's doing. I mean, you just make it into the feature, you get 400, it puts a little money back into all the drivers' pockets. And
that is nice. Very nice.
That is huge.
But I'm going to make a decision in the next couple of days here before it's full, because I know they've been getting a lot of entries in already.
We just got the roof sign back for the raffle car.
I saw that. It looks awesome.
Yeah, it's gonna be pretty neat. We're gonna have that roof sign. It'll be on the car, and then whoever wins the raffle car gets to take the sign home. They get to keep it. But cool. They said they would only let that happen. They would only let the driver take it home as if Josh Decker signed it first.
Yeah, right.
I know. I hear his autograph's going to be worth a bunch here.
Yeah, right, Mike.
You know, I don't know anybody that has gotten this famous for a fight.
I wouldn't call it famous. I wouldn't call it fame at all.
Other than maybe Mike Tyson, and he had to bite somebody's ear off. I mean, that was...
No, it has been pretty cool how just my name has kind of got out there a little bit, and people know me that really shouldn't. You know, it is pretty cool. So thank you, Mike, for that.
That is pretty neat. That's cool.
Thank you, buddy.
I've worked my ass off for 3 years, and the only thing that I have to show for it is I made Josh Decker famous.
Thank you, buddy. That's awesome.
It's a good thing your parents raised you right. You're not bitter.
You're a good friend.
Less of a man, you'd be better.
I'll have to make sure I get his autograph when I finally meet you up there in New York.
Mark Salvage, I see you there. A couple other guys. Thanks for joining us. Biggest chat room we've had so far. Episode 15. Thanks for being with us.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Absolutely.
Thanks, guys, out there. Josh Buell, did Josh Buell make it in there?
He hasn't put his name in.
Josh Buell and Josh Wagner were both having trouble getting into the live chat because they wanted to know what we were going to talk about.
Well, Wagner's on meds. He had knee surgery today, so I'm sure he's just struggling.
Hitting that morphine button. He'll be all right.
Yeah, he'll be all right.
Yeah, well wishes.
Hey, I wanted to ask Mike real quick. I did hear a rumor that Mike might be coming up to Cuba this year. Is that true? You're coming all the way to New York?
Yes, I am. I actually need to get my entry out here in the next couple of days, but most definitely. I came up and watched that show a couple years back, and I've been wanting to come up for a few years, and I just haven't made it. Too many local shows. And
Mike, if you ran, or would you run stock class, or would you run the modified class?
Yeah, I'm going to run that. I think they call it an economy class up there or something.
See, I didn't know that, Mike. I might be interested in running that with you.
Yeah.
I've been on the fence with that.
I run some of the bigger type shows. I got a team show in Carrollton that's a limited weld. That's
We're going to be there
first
for that.
show of the year, May 3rd.
May 3rd. We're taping there.
I try to stick to the stalker shows if I can. It's just pushing out as many cars as we do.
Absolutely.
It's hard to build a limited weld every time.
It'll burn you out sometimes, too. You keep building and it'll burn you out.
So is
Oh, yeah. Especially when it's all year round.
Yeah.
With all the doom and gloom sayers talking about how eventually we're going to run out of cars and stuff like that, with the number of cars that you push out, I mean, do you think that we're running out of cars, or are you having trouble finding stuff to build, or are you still in pretty good shape?
You know, I mean, as far as the 80s cars go, we're still finding them pretty good. I mean, there's a couple years where it seemed like, man, where are all the Derby cars at? But like this last year, I've got more than I can have money to buy. So, you know, I think we're good for a few more years. I mean, I hear guys talking, next 10 years it's going to be over, but
no,
guys are still finding 70s Impalas, and
yeah,
that was 40 years ago now. So
you're either going to have to pay more money or travel farther, but you're going to do either one of them. I know that you're just going to do it.
You know what it is?
Oh, yeah.
Everybody's going to go back to Chrysler because that's going to be the only thing left. The guys are going to run out of GM. And all us guys that have stuck with them over the years, we're going to be there
Cleaning house?
Cleaning house.
I hope that day comes, Brian. I don't know, but I hope.
No, all you guys that ran Chryslers all those years are going to be standing there saying, pay me.
Right? Oh, yeah. Well, look, I mean, their Shocker's going $2,000 right now. I heard the Shocker the other day go $2,000.
That's
no motor, no tranny.
That's getting out of hand.
It's getting out of hand.
Well, you sold a Newport 65 Newport a couple years ago, didn't you?
$2,500. $2,500, and they got smashed.
Did we mention that Josh is a salesman for his living?
Yes, I do that for a living. I sold an Imperial for $2,500 too once. So
That's why Josh is wearing the nicest shirt on the program.
Of course, that's a company shirt.
Yeah, Motion bought this for me.
This is my dress shirt.
Hey.
Your General Motors LLC shirt with your Tractor Supply hat.
That's right. I'm dressed up.
The Derby's in Minnesota.
$120 buy-in on that poker for an Imperial sounds pretty good too.
You better be. Are you coming up for that?
Yeah, we're definitely.
Oh, dude, that's gonna be awesome.
You have to come and sit down with us for a few minutes. We're doing a live show up there at the Derby Banquet, February 15th, and we go Treadway Inn.
Oh,
Somebody
cool.
buy me
Yeah,
into
we're
that
definitely
poker
coming. I got the weekend planned already to go up there. So
You got a hotel room?
sounds like it's pretty cool.
Yeah, because you're not driving home. I'll tell you that right now. There's no way you're gonna drive home.
Josh is gonna make sure of it.
I already got I already got my DD. I already told my buddy, it's like, you just got to sit there all night because I am not driving home. I know that. I know I won't make it.
How many people have you told the future Mrs. Decker that you've invited like 40 guys back to your house to sleep there yet? Or
She don't care.
Are you just going to show up at 3 o'clock in the morning and go, honey, we're home?
I got heat in the garage. We can all sleep in the garage. We'll be fine.
There's plenty of bench seats laying around.
Oh yeah, and some moonshine. So we're all set in there. I'll tell you,
sake, with the moonshine,
dude. I've been pounding that stuff, and it really will hurt you in the morning.
I just think it's really cool that Chris and his wife are letting me share their room with them that night. That's,
yeah, right.
That's awesome.
No, that's a no-no.
That's great.
I don't remember that.
That's awesome.
No.
That was nice of you to volunteer that for me, bud. Thanks.
No, I did tell Buell I would talk about that poker tournament that Mike just brought up. There's only a couple. I think there's 4 places left in each car. I mean, they're filled right up. So if you guys want to do it, get a hold of Josh Buell real quickly.
Get a hold of Josh on Facebook. That's the best way to get a hold of him there. And the one's for an Imperial, and the other one's for
73 or 4 Cadillac.
73.
Okay, perfect. I know that a couple people have said they didn't want to play because they wanted to go to the bar as soon as it's done. Josh already said he's going to be racing the blinds pretty quickly, so it's not going to be going on until midnight. It's only going to be a couple hours. Going to go kind of quick, and then we'll all shoot over.
Is he going to be dealer, or is he playing?
Josh Buell?
Yeah, is he going to be dealer?
I'm pretty sure he's got somebody set up to deal. Yeah. I'm not sure if he's playing. I haven't got that far with him.
Yeah,
but I do know that we filled up really quick, and you got to prepay. You got to pay. You can't just say you're coming because there's been 100 of those. You got to pay up front.
You can prove to me that car is at one of the shows we're taping. I'm going to make sure there's an in-car camera on it.
Well, the cars I think are coming from Pete's beautiful farmland of cars that they just magically come out of the woods, and I think they're coming out of there, so you know they're clean. They're good. Oh, yeah. It's good iron for sure. So it'll be a good day for sure.
I'm looking forward to it.
Absolutely.
Brian, you play poker?
No. I can piss my money away without doing it with cards.
Can you imagine the trash talk that's going to go on at those tables? I'm so excited. Just the trash talk for you know.
Once you get eliminated, we'll set up the podcast stuff and we'll do World Series of Poker commentary.
That'd be awesome. Let's do that.
And the question is can you get beer served right to the table?
Absolutely. We'll put absolutely.
Yeah, Steve said he was going to shuttle that back and forth for you.
That's a no-brainer.
Steve's got the bad back. He's gonna have to carry it in like glasses. He can't carry pitchers at a time. So
that's true. That's true.
I've been trying to get somebody to buy me into that. I'll play for you just to keep myself occupied.
Yeah, great pitch, Steve.
Decker will pay for it. He's paying for everything else.
I'm buying a lot of stuff that day. I'm not.
I figure, Josh, you're sitting at the Imperial table. You can buy me into the caddy table, and you can double your odds.
No.
He's thinking about it. He thought about it.
I was thinking, like, what if I do half and you do half, and then if you win the car, I get it? Like, can we do that?
I paid for half your entry, and you get the car?
I don't know. I'll throw you a couple dollars.
So, Mike, what car are you the most interested in getting your hands on out of that poker tournament?
I mean, if I decide to play, it'll be for the Imperial.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Absolutely.
They're just getting real hard to get, and we actually still have a couple local shows that will allow you to run them. So
there you go, Decker. Build the car and go down and run with him.
Did you hear that?
Heck yeah.
I'll put it on the list, Mike.
You're up to what, 37?
Dude, I hope I win the lottery this year, because if so, then my dreams will come true. It's the only way. I got so many shows I want to go to.
That's funny. Yeah. That's funny.
Hey, but really, I haven't even heard of half of these shows until this podcast. Yeah. I mean, it's been so cool just to hear all this stuff.
Yeah, I don't realize there's that many out there. You got all the little rinky-dink fairs in town.
Yep. Yep.
I mean, there still are quite a few going on
that are still out there. As much as the epitaph was being written for Demolition Derby, it seems like it's still awful healthy to me.
Agreed.
Yes, well, I mean, you figure people say the car count's slowing down, but when you got 30 fairs in a 200-mile radius, and you get 20 cars at each one, that's still a lot of cars.
Absolutely.
It's plenty of cars.
That's something that I've wanted to talk about a couple of times on this show was there are so many shows, especially around our area. As Derby drivers almost, we got to kind of start sticking together a little bit better where we start going to shows that are for Derbyers. Because there's a lot of shows you go and you're just pissed. The rules suck. The promoter sucks. The money sucks. Why do we keep, besides it being our hometown fair, why do we keep helping those fairs? We got to start sticking together and say, like, no, I want to help Hartford. I want to help Brookville. I want to help here and here and here. And we all do it. I think it'd be better for the sport because, like you're saying, Mike, there's so many shows to go to. It kind of weans us out. It kind of thins the herd out. You know what I'm saying? Instead of having a ton of guys at the big shows, which is...
Yeah, we got the exact same thing going on down here. We got a couple shows we run every year, and then we say, man, at the end of the year, we say, why'd we even go there?
Yep.
We should have just went somewhere else, because of shitty promoters and just,
You're right, though, Mike. If you're going to spend all that time...
The same thing going on down here. It's crazy.
This is actually something that I had a conversation with someone about is get like a sanction, just like a driver's body, and somebody did it back in the 70s. What was his name?
Glenn Donnelly.
Yeah, that's the guy.
He became very rich doing it.
Yeah, I want to have a smashed empire.
Yeah,
and you get discounts on videos, you get discounts on admissions and stuff like that. Entry fees are
Is
reduced.
this part of your grand plan?
Yes.
But it's a great grand plan. But it
is.
You got to put some work into that son of a bit. But I think every Derby would be cool.
Hang on.
What?
You got to remember, that was my idea 3 years ago. Next year, my first show.
Right.
Well, second show. But
that's true.
It's a small step.
That's a good point.
Is that the one, the $10 to win that I'm guaranteed to be in the feature? Fresh car?
Yeah, I don't know what you're talking about.
I'm pretty sure that Brian just lives in his own fantasy land.
Well, I was going to say, it's like...
Hey,
just comes
we're going to start muting your mic. Just mute his mic every time he talks.
If you're going to dream, you got to dream big, man.
or
irrationally.
Or in your case, just wake up.
It's more fun dreaming.
Oh, that's awesome.
One of the reasons we're going to Brookville and Cuba this year is just, trying to spread out a little bit and go to some of the bigger shows. It sounds like both of those. I mean, I know Brookville, I've been there a lot, but even Cuba, I just hear a lot of guys saying good things about it. So,
and good classes up there, great cars. I've run the economy class, won it a few years, had a great time there. That's a good track for sure. Mm-hmm. And again, like there are really some good drivers there.
It's a lot of fun.
And the attitude is good. It's a good atmosphere. It's not one of those derbies where everyone's being a dick. Cuba's a good show for sure.
Yeah, I'm excited for it.
Yep.
I mean, it's going to be a good time this year. I'm really looking forward to it. I don't know if I know we're taping out there, but I don't know if we're going to announce or anything out there. I don't know how that all's going to come together. I'm going to be busy that day as it is.
Yeah, you are. Yeah, I didn't know Mike was coming home. That's cool.
The nice thing about something like Cuba too, especially for Mike coming from far away for the first time, is you can show up there for the first time and go out and win.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Yeah. Jim Mann did that.
Jim Mann,
Chrysler, 2 years ago?
Yep.
First time there, went out and won the show.
Yep.
And
well, some places
Jake Doyle last year. It was Jake Doyle took the Raffle Car in the stock division and won the show.
He drove awesome in that.
He drove hard.
He's a good driver. He really drove good in that.
Yes, he is.
That was impressive.
Yeah, he had
for a car he's never sat in to get out there and just start whooping on people.
And I'll tell you what, if the carburetor would have been operating properly, it would have been over quicker because he was just so much better than the other
thing
drivers.
It was the way he drove that. With the carburetor doing what it did, it kind of forced him to limit it a little bit.
Exactly.
It probably helped him win it.
Absolutely right, Chris.
Because he would have been driving that thing way harder and would have junked it a lot sooner.
Yes.
I
agree. I agree.
About? I asked him before he went and got in. Now you gonna be able to start this thing and shift it? You know what you got to do? He goes, yeah, I think you can figure it out.
but really, he probably didn't care about winning. He probably was going out there to put on a show. Then the thing starts running like shit. They have to slow it down. Chris is right. It was probably the best thing that could have happened to him because he was running it hard.
Oh yeah, it's definitely one of the harder times I've ever seen Jake run. I've witnessed him run and win a lot, and that was definitely one of his harder runs.
The good thing about that show too is you don't get a lot of teaming.
No.
There are certain places you go and there's absolute teams out there, and Cuba really hasn't. That really isn't out there.
Limited Weld last year, there was definitely some guys that were together and some guys that weren't together, and they said go, and there was a lot of guys after a few guys.
Yes, that did happen.
And then it kind of opened up, and then when it got to the end, there was a lot of guys against one guy, and but
good show nonetheless.
Pretty good show. It
was good. Well, I'm looking forward to. What's that?
Hey, I wanted to give you a little update. I just asked for an update of where people are from in the chat room.
Yeah.
we got people from New Hampshire, Vermont, Massachusetts, New York, Maryland, Kansas, Minnesota, Illinois, and the guy from Maryland is actually going to Florida in February to go run a derby down there.
That's awesome. That's cool. Now, where's that? Cool. Where's that derby? We gotta find out more from him.
Get us to Florida.
It's Osceola Fair in Florida. It's a Stoney Roberts show.
Yeah. Okay. Well, that took care of that.
Stoney killed it. Sorry.
There's lots of talk in the chat room right now. Guys are really agreeing with you about as far as supporting good shows.
Yeah.
The overall commentation in the chat room is, they wish that people wouldn't support Stoney and R&R out of Kentucky, and that people would just support a good derby that's for the drivers.
Absolutely.
100%. And JM, I'll put JM with Stoney. I mean, they're really not there for us.
No, he's there to make us money.
And I understand that. I understand that. But at the end of the day, we need to smarten up and say, like, well, you know what? I'm going to go for the guy that's going to take care of me. And there are guys like Bo that are truly trying to take care of us. Let's get over that way, Yeah. And maybe it's just something that no one's ever talked about as a group, all of us Derby guys, but let's all start smartening up.
And that's the thing. I mean, like, you look right now in the Northeast, as far as racing goes, and racing's, I mean, pretty big, but like you look at the dirt modifieds, and they put on usually a better show than the World of Outlaw sprint cars or the World of Outlaw late models. But
I disagree with the late models. I'm biased, though.
I'm
biased. I'm not going to lie.
But we can't get the money into the Northeast modifieds because it's not national. Well, something like Derby, and obviously we just proved that it's basically coast to coast. There's got to be some way we can come together and bring it together. And
the only reason we don't have a live listener in California because I don't think Troy's out of work yet.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
Which we got to get Troy on. I mean,
I know.
He said he definitely wants to be on. Troy's been listening every week out in Cali, and
just call him sick one Monday. It'll all work out in the end.
Maybe one night a month we can do a late night show.
Well, we got to figure out. We got to figure out what we're going to do. We've talked a little bit about having one of those later shows that we can get those West Coast guys on. We just got to find the night to do it and figure out what we're going to do if we want to.
Maybe we just graduate to 2 nights a week.
I like that.
I have nothing else to do.
Yeah, so, I know.
Well, I got to Skype from home.
I can't. Busy. You guys aren't busy.
Yeah, right.
Shut up.
It's Derby season, buddy. It's Derby season.
The 4-hour round trip for Decker. That's
kills me every week.
But you're here every week too.
I love it. I'm addicted to the show. I really am.
Well, I'm glad we were able to. We kind of got away from Mike. Mike's just kind of listening there on the phone, and I hate to cut him off.
All right, I enjoy it.
I'm glad, and I appreciate everything that you guys do down there in Pennsylvania at your shop and all the updates. It's a lot of fun to see the pictures and stuff. It's great for the sport that you guys run that program, Farm Kings on Great American Country, which there's still reruns that are popping up of that every now and again you see on Facebook. Thanks so much for coming on, and if I don't see you beforehand, we'll certainly be looking for you February 15th at the Uego party at the Treadway Inn.
All right, I'll see you guys up there. Thanks for having me on, guys.
Thanks Mike,
buddy. Talk to you later.
We'll catch up with you some night, and come and sit down with us for sure when you get up there at the Derby party.
Okay, I'll find you, man. Take care, guys.
Thanks,
buddy.
See ya.
Yeah, bye now.
All right, bye.
Thanks again.
He's good shit.
Yeah, we got to we're actually just a few minutes late for Jason. We got Jason coming on.
You know why I like Mike, actually? To me, he is still true derbier.
Yeah.
He, deep in his heart, the old style, the fucking just buy a shitload of cars, build a shitload of cars, smash a shitload of cars. I mean, that's just Mike. And I love watching what they're doing on Facebook because it kind of reminds me of my house. Like, your buddies come over, you're drinking beer, you're building stuff. You're enjoying yourself all the time doing derby stuff. And I like watching what Mike's doing. You know?
Josh, when I was a little kid growing up at racetracks, my mom and dad both derbied and all my cousins and everything. And, we were at derbies every single weekend for the summer.
Yep.
And sometimes 2 derbies on a weekend.
Sure.
It wasn't anything for my dad and my cousins to put together like 12 to 20 cars in the summer.
That's so cool.
That's crazy.
So I do miss that. I understand what you're saying.
Yeah.
That's when I started. That's how it was. I ran Ontario County Fair, Cuba County Fair, Seneca County Fair, and then after, like, there a couple races, they'd have demos after the races. So I'd run 6-7 shows a year. And I just had a blast.
Yeah.
But now
that's what we all got stuck on. We all got stuck on that old school. And I like where Derbying's going now, but also I love that old school. I love looking at those old throwback pictures.
Yeah.
Danny Menardo's putting up
pictures
from the 80s
stuff.
and shit. I'm like, I was 1 year old, but it was so cool to see those pictures. I love that old shit. For whatever reason, I'm nostalgic about that shit.
The wrong caption. I got to fix that. We got Jason Dials on the line. Jason, welcome to the program.
Thank you.
Can you hear us okay? There we go. Well, I'm glad you could make some time and hang out with us a little bit. We had a chance to catch up with Jason out at the Blizzard Bash last November, and we've been talking off and on through the course of the fall. I mean, how's your winter been? How was your New Year?
Oh, pretty good. It's colder than a blood digger's ass here.
Yeah, it was. It's pretty chilly, pretty much every place out there in the Midwest.
It was -10 this morning, and now they're talking about -9 into tomorrow. So, but then being in Kansas, it'll be 50 Friday.
Nice. That's not so bad though. A nice turnaround.
Yeah.
What have you been working on so far? You've been kind of trying to keep up. I see you got an anniversary that you're going to celebrate this month. Congratulations.
Thank you.
But
we've been in the process of getting some things lined up, getting my wife into it this year, and getting some cars lined up for her and some engine packages. So she's going to take off. She might do Blizzard Bash next year.
Wow, that's cool.
Dude, I'll tell you, with them women out there in 5 or 6 cars, it's got to be intimidating for those girls. That's a big track.
It is.
With some big cars, you know?
And some big horsepower.
Yeah, I mean, it was kind of cool. I thought that would have been intimidating. Them girls put on a show with them.
They did a great job out there. Yeah, big time.
Oh, yeah, they get after it just like the guys. Especially down here around our area. Girls get into it pretty hot and heavy.
That's good to see. Now, do you guys still have powder puffs out your way? Up here, they call them powder puffs. Or are women running with men? I know you do.
That.
But it's old school. Or are the women running with the men where you are?
Well, I mean, it's kind of vice versa. Some derbies that have their own event, which is called the Powder Puff here also, or sometimes some of the local derbies have gotten rid of them, so the girls will drive with the guys. And they'll hang just as long.
Right.
Jenny, I can't think of her last name now. She ran out of the yellow and black team. Yeah, she did a great job.
Yeah, she did. They pounded on her, though.
And she gave it right back.
I know.
She wasn't shy about it. You could tell it was her car. It was the only sign on the track that had the pink on it, but it was cool. And she did a great job out there.
You know, sometimes that's tough for me. I don't know. I know I'm going to sound like a wuss here, but I don't like to pound on the girl out there. Yeah. For whatever reason, I don't want to be that guy, you know. I know other guys will say she's on the track, just hit her anyway. I agree, kind of.
Yeah.
She's still
Cars
a woman.
don't have a gender.
She's still a girl inside the car, Steve. I guess that's just not me.
Yeah, I agree with you. The year I won Waterloo, I had a 66 Imperial, and in our heat, because they mix so well, there was a girl in like a front wheel drive Pontiac 6000 or something.
Oh no.
And I'm like, and it's getting down to the end, and it's me, her, and like one other car, and the other car dies, and you can see me on tape. I drive down and stop in front of the judge's stand, and I'm like, yeah, I'm not hitting her.
No. I
said, I don't care what you want to do. Put us both in. I'm not hitting her. And then a kid in a Chevy Squareback started up and hit her and then backed up, so I hit him headlight to headlight, and it was over. So we go out in the feature, and she lines up next. She thanked me for not hitting her. We line up in the feature, and like the roof of her car was even with the top of my doors on my Imperial. And I'm like...
You're in a box car?
Yeah, I was in a box car. And I'm like... So we go to back up, and she goes, well, I just want to go out so I can say I was in the feature. I said, all right, that's cool. I understand. We go out. And she backs up and starts driving into the side of my car. And I'm like, so I'm trying to, figure out what I'm going to do and how I'm going to run the show. And she hits me like 4 times. And then I'm like, so we get done. And she goes, oh, congratulations. I'm so happy for you. I'm like, thanks. She goes, well, I wanted to run and I wanted to hit somebody. And I knew if I hit you, you wouldn't get mad and hit me back. So that's why I hit you. And I'm like,
ooh, that's
great.
In that circumstance, awesome. I might hit her. Eventually,
great,
you got
that's wonderful. But I mean, she ended up pulling it off or something. But I mean, it's tough with girls out there. I mean, it's... we've seen Betty Benjamin in action, and she's won hundreds of features.
And she's a good driver.
And she's a damn good driver. Yeah. I think she's probably the best driver out of that house. I really do. Because good. She doesn't get mad. The other two have pretty bad tempers. Yeah. Betty doesn't get mad.
That's true.
And she's there at the end. But if the women want to do it and they're in equally prepared cars, and more power to them.
I'll let you smoke them.
I gotta say, probably the hardest I've ever been hit is by a female.
No shit.
Nice.
That's awesome.
Where was that?
In the living room.
Lawrence, Kansas.
Yeah. Are we going to see
a little Dodge Diplomat, and the Lawrence Arena is pretty big. It's probably 120 yards long and probably 75 yards wide, and I got full full blow with a little diplomat, and I really didn't think I'm a big Mopar nut, and she had her wound for sound.
What were you in?
I was in a 80s model Ford.
Oh, okay. Nice.
But, yeah, she ran with the most. She was down there. I think she ended up taking, I took third. I think she took fifth or sixth. I mean, she was down there in the nitty-gritty, and she was balls to walls from the word go.
That's awesome.
That's great.
Where else are we going to see you run? I mean, are we going to be catching up with you in Sturgis here in a couple weeks?
Not Sturgis. Contemplating on going back to Mayhem this year. Usually when I go up there, I run with Jimmy Johnson, Nick Erlacher, and them guys.
Mm-hmm.
I run against them here local all the time.
Yep.
And then there's the Midwest Championships. Is that event going to be moved this year or not? Is that still going to be in the fall? Do you know?
It's still up in the air. I've heard rumors that it might be moved.
That's Chad Markley.
But I haven't heard anything solid on that. They're talking about, because you got to be in a qualifier event, and they're trying to round up different derbies around this area to make qualifying events. Like last year, the only one that was qualifying in my area was Overbrook.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Last year. And I think Kyle Gunther, Luke Lang, and Chris Bender qualified for that out of Overbrook last year.
Are all the shows where you run the extreme style build like we saw when you were in that pink and black car at Blizzard Bash?
Yeah, it's actually a little more aggressive than Bash rules around here.
More?
Say that again.
Mother cars.
I was thinking a year to build one of these things.
I like their build.
Oh my gosh.
Everybody's saying stuff does get junk, but around here you're always seeing the same cars over and over again, and they don't move.
Good God.
Man,
So with a car built like that, I mean, what takes you out? I mean, is it eventually
internal bleeding?
do they tear a tire off? I mean, what eventually takes you out?
Basically, break a wheel off or drivetrain problems.
Yeah.
Axles, usually something like that. Usually the cars around here, unless you got the new guys trying to start out, that I've got a few on our group that we're trying to get into it, and we're trying to explain to them, hey, you're going to have to spend some money if you want to play with what's going on now.
If I remember it, you had a Baldwin, right?
No, I had a C&M.
Okay, sorry. Still.
No, that's fine.
Jason, what's
a really good motor, too. I talked to him when we first started driving Bash 3 years ago, and nobody could get me a motor because I popped my good one fast enough for that first year of Bash, so C&M was the only one that got me one. I've had pretty good luck with it. I know he's got a bad rep, but he's always done me right.
Now, do you got, when you're running out there, when we talked to Jimmy Johnson out there, now do you run only Vicks or do you run Old Iron out there also?
I run Old Iron.
Okay, when we were at Bash, we talked to Jimmy Johnson.
He just said he's a Mopar guy. Did I hear you right? Didn't you say you like Mopar stuff?
Yeah. Yeah, the first year I ran Bash, I was in an old Mopar.
Nice. Jimmy Johnson, when we were talking to him, we asked him if he runs anything else besides Buicks. I was expecting him to say, yeah, I run some Imperials, I've run some Mopars, but he said to me, I've tried some Impalas before, and I ran a couple Cadillacs. Are cars so much down there that you can pick a car like a Buick and just buy Buicks? And I'm asking this seriously. Can you guys still find cars enough down there that you can...
Is it plentiful enough?
Yeah, seriously. Was Jimmy just busting our balls, or does he only run Buicks?
No, he only runs Buicks. I mean, you can still find Impalas and wagons and everything down here. He don't like them. He used to take, when we used to go to Mayhem all the time, he used to take roundbacks up there, and then he started switching to the sedan. Jimmy can build a nasty sedan.
Oh, his Blizzard Bash cars were impressive, man.
That was awesome.
Everyone was saying they weren't going to last up with them Vicks, and he went 3 rounds, right? And
yeah.
God, he did good. I mean, that whole team was impressive to me.
Come and hung out with us, and he was just sitting out there, and he was watching. He was
a good guy.
Pointing it out. It was a lot of fun.
I love listening and talking to guys that have been doing it forever, because everything they say I'm listening to, because, you know, they really got their foot on what's going on out there. Jimmy knew his shit, for sure. You know?
What do you think?
Yeah, Jimmy does. Jimmy's been around for a long time. I've bought several cars from him. He gives me a lot of shit for being a Mopar nut and liking my old Mopars because he thought I was crazy and shit taking a Mopar to Mayhem.
Sure. That's awesome. And are you running Imperials at all out there, or are you just running shockers?
Very few and far between. There's a few shows around here that still lets the imp subs in, but the full-fledged Imperials, the old full-framers, are outlawed about everywhere around here.
Now, when you get out there, do promoters actually know what they're looking at? Because it sounds like you guys have had Imperials banned for so long that maybe inspectors don't know what they're looking for. Could you put a subframe imp under a shocker body and get it passed? Or, no, they still know what they're looking for out there?
No, they know what they're looking for. They caught on to that pretty quick. I'd say probably 5-6 years ago we were all doing that, throwing imp stubs under shockers.
Nice.
They caught on pretty fast.
That's awesome. Cool.
That's one of their first rules is no imps or imp stubs in any car.
Okay.
And now you get into where they're outlawing the 03s. We can run some of them, but they have to have stock suspension,
right.
Aluminum cradle, everything.
I didn't know that out west they were outlawing 03s. I thought they were wanting them. I thought that was kind of the direction everything was going out there.
It's going to be.
Well, I thought it was too. I was really impressed with them at Bash, and then I talked to Sam the other night, and he said they outlawed them for next year, and I read the rules this weekend, and I was like, holy crap, they did.
What do you think of the changes that they've got out there for next season? I mean, it's a huge card.
I think it'll be interesting. I think you'll see more old iron now that the 03s are gone. But you got your guys that are set on 98 and newer.
Yep.
This last round, I ran 98 and newer, and I really was not impressed.
Right.
Like, I'd rather just build a shocker.
Right.
That's what I like.
Good to hear, man.
Yeah, that's
nice.
It's nice to hear. And by the way, on the topic of that whole Imperial subframe thing, it just occurred to me, not at Cuba.
Right.
No.
Why would I even try something like that?
Why would you try?
I would never try something like that at your rules.
Yeah, you would.
I would be 100% honest.
I'm
going to be 100% honest at your show.
The rules say no Imperials, and it also says no frame modifications, and I count that as a frame modification. Don't try it.
All right. Maybe somewhere else.
That's a gray area.
Yeah, absolutely. Exactly.
Modifying the frame,
that frame's not modified. It's perfectly stock in the corner of my garage.
Don't do it.
That happened at our hometown for a while.
It did a lot.
Well, as we were talking about R&R sucks, I mean, Stoney Roberts just had, as of like 3 years ago, I know guys that were taking subframe Imperials up there.
No.
Still to this day.
No.
We're in 2014 now, and they still don't know what they're looking for. We got to stop going to Stoney Roberts shows. Everyone hear me?
You're on the Father's Day show?
I'll probably be there.
All right, just checking. and Shamug?
It depends on what I got left, you know.
Didn't somebody bearing a striking resemblance to yourself just say, we got to band together and only go to the shows that
All right, fine. I will not go to those shows.
Lies, all lies.
Hey, you know how we talked about how your car is the only one that bent at the Father's Day show?
Yes.
I did notice even your roof got bent, man. You were getting drove.
Yeah, that's what happens when a stock Diplomat goes against tilted Vicks. I still got down to fourth somehow. Made it through my heat and feature. So,
but I saw a picture of that today. I went, man, Decker wasn't
But you should tilt your dip or tilt your Regis.
How do you do that?
It'll even the playing field.
Go on.
Hold on. Can I ask a question about that? At Bash, there was a red St. Regis body style. It looked like he was tilted or something. Maybe you want to just call me afterwards, Jason, but can you explain to me how they did that? Because I'm interested in that. Our guys actually...
It definitely, if you look on my Facebook, you'll see some pictures of my tilted Regis. And it went toe-to-toe with a bunch of 98s. So I ran it several shows before. It ends up breaking in the back, like they say, but the front never did. I tilted it 4 inches.
I'm going to call you after the show.
Say on here exactly how I did it, but...
No, don't, please.
It definitely makes it a different beast, because all the unibody welding you're allowed up front. And
that sounds like
back then when I ran them, I never ran DP or anything. I'm really excited I've located a bunch of Mopars and bought them. I'm really excited to throw a DP in one and wedge them on back and see what they'll eat.
Absolutely, man. Keep in touch with me this season. I'm interested in hearing what happens.
Yeah, it's always good to find, advanced Mopar builders.
Yeah, no. but at Bash, me and Ben stood there looking at this car on the track. We didn't see it out in the pits, but we could not figure out how are they doing it. So, Jason, I'm going to get with you afterwards because I'm really interested how you even start that.
That sounds like a really good article for the preseason issue of Derby.
Probably not.
No, we don't want to tell everybody how to do it.
Yeah, that'd be great.
It's pretty easy. It takes maybe an hour, but it's simple, kind of same guidelines as doing a Vic. As we were sitting out in the shop thinking about it, there's one of my younger apprentices, I should say, he builds Mopar too, and we were sitting out in the shop looking at a Regis, and he had a '85 Imperial, which looks basically like a dip.
Yep.
And we were sitting there both looking at him, and I was like, I'm going to tilt this. And he's like, what? Man. And about an hour later, we had her tilted about 4 inches.
I like that. That's awesome, man.
We changed it.
Way to use your brain, man. That's cool.
Definitely.
That is really cool.
And it held it. It held its own. So
anything to make Mopars tougher. Gotta love it.
Absolutely.
I'm excited.
Teeth on the front of it, and the front end never came up. No, I wouldn't even say it reached 3 foot.
I'm going to be running a St. Regis at Wood Booger. So maybe I can get that through, Steve Bucknam. I don't know.
Steve, you listening?
Don't ask me.
Yeah.
Just talk on the mic.
You heard nothing. I'm going to have to read through the
For
rules.
any rule questions, call Jim Mann.
Right,
His phone number is on the rules. That's the official statement.
Jason, have you tilted shockers also, or just the just like the St. Regis styles?
Around here they didn't outlaw. They switched all the derbies to 80s and newer, but now they're switching back to old iron. So I never really got to play with the shocker. I just started running Regis and stuff, and just started running Ford.
Yep.
I have seen
last
some
year, just because Regises and New Yorkers in the 80s models are kind of hard to find.
Yeah.
When they say 80s and newer out there, Jason, is it truly 1980 and forward only, or do you have the
78?
78. It's 78 for Chrysler and 77 for Ford and Chevy, right?
Not necessarily. On the Chryslers, it had to be 78 and newer pinch frame.
Yep.
Okay.
Could not be the 78 true New Yorker.
Yep.
When they first switched that, we were getting the shockers that were 77 in.
Yeah.
Then they caught on to that pretty good. I mean, Kansas and the Midwest is notorious for gray areas and pushing.
Now, I have heard guys say that when it comes to tilting a shocker, though, it's just really not. It's not the same as a Ford. I've seen a couple pictures of them bending down in the front and bending real ugly, and I know guys are trying to do it, but I don't know if it's working like it is on a head,
I've heard both ways in that. I've heard some guys that have tilted them, and they say they're rock hard. They'll try to push it on themselves, and they won't go up. But I haven't talked to anybody, and I mean, obviously here wouldn't be the most opportune time to,
I don't think you're going to get much in the way of answers anyway.
Well, I got a bunch on the line in my yard today, so we're going to try some different things. We're going to try some different things, especially with that stuff I bought out west.
Hey guys,
jam that in there.
One thing to think about with, if you're looking at all the different varying results of tilting and all that, you got to think about the arena that they're running these cars on. Because I know, like, a lot of speedway derbies, they'll have the derby, like, on the front stretch and it's kind of angled. Or, like, Lebanon Valley in New York was kind of angled and stuff like that. And sometimes that can affect how the hits bend the car.
Good point, Steve.
What works there may not work somewhere else.
Absolutely right.
Your impact point, if you're coming from the top of the track down, your impact point is going to be a lot higher on the person you're hitting than if you were going uphill or straight on.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Most of the tracks around here, though, are flat.
The front stretches anyway are flat. I mean, Black Rock's got a little pitch to it, but
Fulton had a little bit of a pitch on it.
Fulton a little bit.
Well, it depends. It depends because they used to run them like in the infield more than on the track.
Fulton, you can't anymore. They've got so many sponsor billboards and all their equipment is on the infield now too. So they do it right on that. They do it right between the front stretch wall.
Weedsport, when we ran Weedsport was such a tall, because I remember just fighting to get up to the top, and then I come shooting down, whack to the top, shooting down.
Because they did the Enduro before that, so the track was all glazed over. They watered the track, and it was like glass. Trying to get
it was stupid.
Well, I mean, it's a dirt track. You got to water it before you use it. It's automatic.
I would have left it how it was. It was slick that night.
It was slick. It was slick. There was smoke coming off the tires.
Yeah, I was just honing on it, not going anywhere.
Back in the day, they used to have 200-car derbies there.
Weedsport?
When I was a kid, yeah.
Wow.
They would get 200 cars in there. That's why I'm shocked that Chris, being the rain man that he is, never went over there for that. But
I was there for one. Actually, I got in trouble because I was hanging out the window of Steve Travis's Imperial when he drove back to the pits, and one of the track officials was yelling at me.
Oh boy!
This is way before.
Oh
that.
Yeah, I know, but I mean, I was there for one. I've seen 2 or 3 over there. I taped the one. You were there with Gary and
Nate, with Corey and Brett and all them. Everybody was there. Yeah, it was 8 cars, 10 cars. Yeah, I got third in a stupid Y-frame.
It was the last time I saw Roger Matthews, I believe.
Yes, it was. Mm-hmm. Rip Roger, good guy for sure.
Yeah, wishes out to the Rouser family after the passing of Corey this week. That was some tough news.
Very tough.
They had calling hours, and the line was from Mull Funeral Home all the way back up to 96, and they had the funeral today. They took his his company truck, and they used that instead of a hearse. They had his casket was on that.
And by company truck, it was like a 1 ton or like a
huge
truck chassis, like the 10-wheeler truck chassis.
Yeah,
with the fifth wheel, and
that's cool.
It was pretty cool.
That's cool.
Yep. So, Jason, what's your thought on this whole thing with the 03 and newer? I mean, are you glad to see them out of the way, or what?
Say that one more time. I'm sorry.
Are you glad to see the 03 and newer starting to get out of the way so that you can start trending back towards that old iron stuff, or would you rather stick with the Fords?
You know, I don't know. I was really looking forward after Bash and seeing what was done to the 03s and what I thought was going to be allowed this year. I was really looking forward to building one, but now that they've switched the rules, I'll just bring a shocker next year and be done with it and see how many Vics I can tear up.
Please, man. I mean,
that first
we were begging for Mopars to win out there.
That's what I like to hear.
Begging for Mopars to win. Please, kick some ass.
Josh was having some trouble when they cut to us in between heats because he used up his voice.
Oh, no. I got so frustrated with the Mopars, you know. Yeah, I'll be rooting for you, Jason, no doubt.
Absolutely.
Wow.
They're definitely a breed of their own. I've been doing it 14 years now, and up until the last year and a half, that's all I've ran. So, I mean, it's kind of interesting. You go against Nick and Jimmy with his Buicks, and Nick drives Buicks, and you're there at the end with them, and they're just like, damn, your Mopars are hard. And it's like, wow, shit, I ain't even got half the crap you guys got. Now that I got that crap, now I'm like, all right, let's get this game on.
Right, can't wait.
Now it's time. Now the field's even.
Well, I can't believe it's 7 o'clock already.
It flew by today.
Another one that flies by. We might have to start thinking about going 2 times a week. You live close enough to where we could do it.
I do.
You could come in and you could make Waterloo references from 10 years ago. It'd be great.
Wow.
Well, actually, how about this? If we just took out everything Brian said today, we would have had more time. And actually, if you think about it, next time we should just skip you.
We'll have crash.
Sorry, I love you, dude. You know that. You know that.
When we go to Minnesota here in 3 weeks, and Decker drives like Decker, and 4 guys want to fight him after the Derby.
Hey,
and I just stand back and watch.
Nah,
that'll be all right,
dude. I'm just holding my foot to the floor, baby. I'm putting on a show up there.
Do you know which pedal makes it go?
We're gonna figure it
out.
You
driving a Caddy up there, Decker?
No, I'm gonna drive. It's
on your Facebook.
No, Caddy is for just a local show here. No, I'm running like a 76 or 77 Thunderbird with an LS motor and stuff up there in the mod show in Minnesota. Jesse Keel's building it for me. That is official. I think my entry fee is paid for, so I think I can say that I'm running out there, and I can't wait. I'm just gonna go have a show, enjoy running with guys I've never run with.
Decker's biggest concern to running up there in Minnesota was how he was going to get his helmet to Minnesota.
Yeah, I'm gonna get my helmet. I'll run without one. I don't care, but. Nah, I can't wait for that. I'm so excited about that show.
Are you coming up there? Are you going to come up and watch? You going to make the drive up to Minnesota? Jason?
Me?
Yeah.
Oh, probably not. I'm getting ready for that anniversary, so we're going to watch our P's and Q's till I get that done.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Yeah, sounds like a good answer, I guess.
Once that hits, then I've already told her we're pulling her car in the shop and getting started.
There you go.
That 77 New Yorker, I'm going to put her in.
There you go, man.
Nice.
Perfect.
That's awesome.
So actually, we could do Monday night. We could have Crash Course National, and then Wednesday nights we could have Brian back again and have Crash Course Local. That'd be fun, right?
But then there'd be no viewers the second night, and it's like, well, let's just get rid of the second show. And
I agree.
So easy tonight.
Decker's gonna have a hard time getting his helmet on.
No, I've had a good time with you every week, Brian. You're
Absolutely.
always a good time. I love it here.
Can you believe this?
Not really.
No.
Jason, seriously, I am going to get a hold of you because I have some questions for you. So, are you on Facebook?
Oh, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll get with you on Facebook because you got to teach me some stuff.
I'll probably get a hold of you too, Jason, because I'm a better driver than Decker. He just has more money than me, so I got to make my Mopars last longer.
Don't waste your time writing back to him.
Man.
So it's always good to get a hold of them guys out west that can build a mean Mopar.
I would like to go out there and live out there for a little while. Imagine these guys are still finding Buicks. They can just pick Buicks.
Nobody wants Chryslers except him.
Oh, I know.
Just wants to go on a Derby.
That's like
all around the country.
Psycho Jimmy posted on his Facebook. He come down here and he's like, "How many Chryslers and cars does Kansas actually have?" He had like 3 shockers on his trailer and a Ford. I was like, dude, they're all over down here. It just depends on what you want to pay for them.
I mean, do you have a stockpile? I mean, do you have this like just this library of Mopars behind your house because nobody else drives them? You just have this
I
vast
did.
field?
I mean, I got probably 6 now, but there was times before, like I said, they switched. I think it was 4 years ago, to the 80s and newer. I had 31 Mopars.
Oh.
And all old iron, and I was like, well, where the hell am I going to run these? I kept a select few and sold the rest to get 80s model. I mean, I traded one Shocker for 2 St. Regises, and I mean, that's when I started running the 80s.
What are you paying for
Regis.
a Shocker shell out there?
Say that one more time.
A Shocker shell? How much do you guys pay for them out there?
$300.
They range. Most of our local shows are $1,000. We have a couple big ones around here, like Lawrence, paid $3,500. And then they actually had the biggest compact payout for the state of Kansas at $2,500 this last year.
No, those are all great payouts. I mean, that's nice stuff. But I think Josh was asking, how much do you actually have to put on the table to bring one of those shells home?
Well, they average out. I mean, usually you can get one, depending on if you want bumpers or not, for anywhere from $400 to $600.
400.
If
$400
you
to
want
600.
bumpers, you're going to pay 7 to 8,
Jesus.
depending on the style of bumper.
We could. That's 3. I could have 3 of them for what I'm paying. I could have 3 of them.
Buy a
out there.
truckload and have them shipped over here.
Really, that's what it's going to come to.
Shocker.
God damn, $400.
So
Making me jealous.
So
man.
Jason, do you
Jealous.
think if you were to look hard out there, do you think you could find like Town and Country wagons or Grand Fury wagons or anything like that?
Yeah, I know where a Town and Country wagon's sitting. It's my old wagon that I sold to a guy. He still wants to sell it.
Wow.
Josh, you listening?
Where are you out of again? Kansas? That's
Yep.
Just how do I get them home, man?
$600 for a car.
God damn.
$1,000 in fuel. We'd still be ahead of the game.
Pretty damn close.
Actually, I'm
Pretty
just
goddamn
throwing it
close.
out there. We are going to Sturgis.
No, don't.
And then
In
if you
Kentucky.
took the trailer, maybe you could talk somebody into meeting you, and just
If
I got to pick a Shocker up on the way home, but
if Brett gets a motor in his truck, he could probably borrow his truck and wedge trailer, bring 3 home.
can you imagine someday we're going to be driving 20 hours to pick up cars?
Yeah.
That's one way.
Yeah.
40 hours to bring a car home? God damn.
You better get your CDLA so you
I
can
know.
haul truckloads.
Jesus. Jason, if I were you, I'd start stockpiling, because someday the prices are going to be the same as over here.
It's money in the bank.
stockpile it, because Josh is going to find out what your address is and come and buy every one of them you stockpile.
Well, now I'm trying to think, is like, how could you get a 5-car hauler to get out there and get back here? How much would that cost me, God damn.
Oh,
I'm jealous. So jealous.
Absolutely.
With them guys from California that had all their cars shipped from California to Mayhem on a semi, see if you can get hooked up with his guy.
Exactly.
Yeah, well, when I went to Mayhem 2010, there was, I can't remember who it was, but there was a like car hauler that came from California. That was a 48-hour drive.
it was that white and pink number 3.
Yep.
Yeah, I don't remember exactly. I just remember we met the guys that drove. We met 2 of their fathers having breakfast, and they said, "Yep, our sons and some friends came out, and I think they brought either 4 or 6 cars out, something like that." And the guy drove them 48 hours to run Metal Mayhem.
That's so cool.
I mean, that
is awesome.
crazy.
That's so cool that people got that much drive to go derby.
You want to hear crazy? In '98, when my dad and I went to Wichita for that TNN show, the California guys shipped out their Chevy wagons on a semi-truck. They got there like the 2 days before the Derby or whatever. And then after the Derby was over, they sold the engines out of the wagons to some other Derby guys and then took their batteries and gas tanks and stuff out of them and left the wagons there and took a flight home to California.
Nice.
Really.
Just left them.
And
Just
they
left
weren't
some
even
clamshells. Oh, no.
That's great.
That's awesome.
I tell you, if anybody can come up with a time machine, derby drivers would put it to use.
Oh, yeah.
Go back
my
and
God,
get so much
yeah.
stuff back that they left behind.
Man.
I mean,
Oh,
you hear
yeah.
those stories about, this car was scrapped. You were talking about the bad plugs and how they drive it to the junkyard and stuff. It's
Awesome.
Talk about butterfly effect, though. You could go back like 10 years, get one wagon, and change the face of Demolition Derby for all of the world.
Oh,
yeah. I guess we can't do that, Steve.
Well, I mean, just think about all the implications. It's kind of interesting.
Killjoy.
You could ruin someone's Metal Mayhem because you bought their wagon 10 years before they found it.
Oh well. That's true.
That's a little far out for me. I don't know if we need to dive that deep.
I think we could have a whole show just about that.
Yeah, well, we could. I mean, there's a lot of things. We could have had a whole show with Mike that we talked to a little bit earlier. We could have had a whole show talking about just the different build styles with Mopars and what you can do with some of this 80s stuff and tilting the St. Regis's, which is a very intriguing concept.
Yeah, it is.
I mean, I'm really looking forward to hearing more about that.
I got you guys thinking about that, don't I?
Oh yeah,
absolutely.
Oh,
yeah. There's some gears turning in this room right now, man.
No doubt.
I'm glad we had you.
Everyone in the chat room.
Go to my Facebook page, and there's pictures of that Regis on there.
Well, I'm telling
photos.
I will do it tonight.
I'm telling you right now, it's a good thing that we had you on in January, so everybody's got a couple months to refine this art, because there's going to be a St. Regis's and stuff like that are going to turn into a pretty high demand vehicle here pretty quick after this interview.
Of course, we aren't going to find.
You should try to pat.
There's one of my test runs on the C&M motor, but you also pull a first run on a 360 motor that was in the St. Regis before I ran it, so you'd actually get to see how far it's tilted in the build style before it's painted.
I like that. Redneck 11. I'm on it. I'm on it.
Well, it looks like we might have lost Steve there for a minute, and
thanks for having you on, Jason. It was some good conversation, man.
Absolutely. It's always good to talk to you.
I appreciate it, guys.
No problem.
We certainly appreciate you making some time for us and hanging out. Josh, I'm glad you were able to learn something today.
I haven't learned it yet. I just know I'm going to learn it. I'm going to try.
Looks like Steve's back. Steve, man, appreciate it again.
My pleasure. Glad to be here. Hey, last thing from the chat room. The overwhelming response in the chat room is that our show needs to be longer or on more times a week.
Thank you, guys. That's awesome.
That's awesome.
Appreciate that.
Wow. Well, I'll see what we can do. I mean, guys, if you want it more often, I know we have guests that want to be on the show. I know we have an open night on Wednesdays.
Yep.
I know Brian isn't doing anything this time of year, but Wednesdays are a trouble in the regular season.
So are Mondays, unless it's later.
Well, we can't go later because we've got the sauce that comes up at 8:00. We actually, I can't believe that they're not here yet. That we do need to kind of get on our way out and get everything finished up on our end. But if there is that demand and we can find a way to swing it, I suppose maybe. If we did twice a month, we pull out a Wednesday show or something like that, I suppose maybe we could try and make something happen there.
Yep.
That'd be cool.
Something to think about.
I know you're available too. So I mean, worst case, if Brian can't make it or if Josh doesn't want to make the 4-hour drive twice a week, we could. I'm sure we could find something to talk about between us. Steve.
Yeah, for sure.
Eventually, I got to start building cars.
I know.
Eventually, I got to start that.
Wait a minute. You
Just
already have your crew working.
I got 3 cars almost done.
Just keep supplying for your builders, and they'll build them for you.
That's what they're doing right now. Thank you, Vern. Keep working, buddy.
Vern, he's got some stuff to bring home for you.
Oh, Vern can't wait, man. I showed him a picture. Chris makes some awesome roof signs. Real quick, Chris. I don't know if you want me to or not, but I got it right here. Ooh, everybody see that? Imperial.
Yeah.
Huh? And one for Vern, of course, which these are awesome, Chris. I really appreciate it. It's going to go on my Brockton car.
And you can get those at derbyparts.com. Check out the Smashed Empire area. There's some great stuff, including a 2014 calendar. Yep. You guys should pick them up. They're awesome.
Calendars are done, too. Yep. Cool.
And I know Wade is going to be in Minnesota.
Yes.
I just saw that Wade was going to be there, bringing some parts and stuff. Everybody get on there, order some stuff, pre-order. They'll deliver it right up there. Make sure you take advantage of that. Anybody up in the north there.
Yep.
Sorry, I'll let you go.
Nope,
hey, one last thing is, today I was out of undershirts. I just thought of this, actually. I was out of undershirts. So under my nice, look at this. Under my nice, can anyone see this? I got a nice dress shirt on, but I got my derby parts underneath it. Oh, that's country.
No, that's professional. That's professional grade right there.
I didn't have any undershirts left, so I went to my derby catalog.
Well, again, as always, Josh, I appreciate you making the trip up. Brian, thanks a lot. Jason Dials, it was great having you on. Expect a surge in friend requests on Facebook.
Yeah,
at least 2 from New York.
If anybody from New York is friending you, you know what they're asking about. But Steve, thanks a lot, dude. And
thank you.
I think that's going to do it for this episode of the Crash Course, guys. We appreciate it. We'll be looking forward to you catching up with you here next Monday. We've got Pete Hansen.
Another great one.
Josh Dubovec going to be here. I believe Tori Schutte is going to be on the DerbyParts.com hotline. So it'll be a good time. Big news in case you missed it at the beginning. We're going to Utah October 4th for Halloween Havoc with Stern Dirt. We're going to be out there with the Crash Course Live.
You're the man.
Guys, we appreciate it. Thanks so much in the live chat for hanging out with us. And if we can find a way to get you more, we'll get you more. Thanks.
Show was